all of the debt that our government is accumulating, in some senses, is debt that our children will have to repay. There's only three ways to get after this problem. Number one, taxes go up. Number two, spending comes down. Of course, you can have a mix of those. And number three, population rises, which means the number of people who are working to pay off our debt goes up. If you look at the shape of our population, it doesn't look like we're going to get much relief. The percentage of children to total population is down. The percentage of aged people who do drive spending in terms of Social Security and Medicare is up. So in a sense, probably we need to look at taxes and spending. I'm doing federal government only. State governments are mandated not to run deficits, even though they do some years. So let's start with taxes. Payroll taxes accounts for about $1.1 trillion of the almost $4 billion that the federal government spends, and $1.5 trillion of income tax. What's the solution? Do we raise payroll tax? Do we raise income tax? Payroll taxes are capped. Most of the top 20% of earners pay exactly the same amount of payroll tax as the next 20% of earners. Perhaps we ought to let that extend. Maybe we increase income tax rates. Or maybe we don't do any change to taxes. That would be a perspective that you would have to form. From a spending perspective, the thing that alarms me most is this yellow line. That's the total, what I'll refer to as fixed obligation of the government. That's paying Social Security and Medicare benefits, which people plan on in their retirement. That's paying interest on the federal debt. That's paying the pensions of retired federal employees. We have very little opportunity to change the shape of the yellow line in the short term. In the long term, Congress can take and change policies to affect those numbers, change Social Security and Medicare policy, but that would have to happen over a very long period of time. There is other spending that goes on in the government. It surges when defense spending surges, and somebody could take a look at these numbers. That's an area where I know our Congress has spent a lot of time and hasn't come up with the important numbers. The deficits, you can see, are large. $600 billion of deficit. $600 billion, just in context, is 15% of all the money that government raises. It'd be as if you made $50,000 and acquired $7,500 of new debt per year. On this issue, I don't know that I could say I'm partisan, but I am a strong believer that we as a country need to balance our budget.